And welcome to Final Fights. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Nicholas Jetski Rehack.
Hey.
You know what I love? For someone named Nick Jetski Rehack, you're really laid back.
You got to leave it all out on the jet ski. You put all of the energy there, and then when you're home, you're cool as a moose. You know what I mean? Hanging out at Camp Rehack. And then when we start to zip up those vests, though, safety first, when we start to zip them up and maybe put on the wetsuit pants, that's when the energy comes. That's when it hits you and you're like, I got to bring my A+ game.
This is how I envision you on a jet ski. The jet ski's pure neon. 8 different colors of neon. Clashes with the eyes. You have a neon wetsuit. Then you're wearing Oakleys with those little MP3 things that go in your ears. And That's how you jet ski.
The only thing you're missing is the seat for the jet ski, leopard print.
What are the 3 songs that you just play over and over when you jet ski?
Still of the Night by Whitesnake. Come On Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot.
Whoa.
And there's a bit of a me thing. Not everybody likes it, but Sailing by Christopher Cross.
Wow. Sailing.
Yeah. Takes me away.
It's ups and downs. You can't just have all metal. You got to have, like with every workout, the circuit training, you go fast, 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 slow, 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 fast, 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 slow, slow, slow. I used to run to this Lance Armstrong thing. It was 40 minutes, and it would do like the Hives, and then it would bust out some Chelsea Dagger, and then it would cut to Island in the Sun from Weezer, and you just kind of saunter for a little bit, but then it'd cut to something else, and you start sprinting.
I tell you what, I haven't listened to the Hives in a bit. I might have to sneak a rotation in there, like after Sailing, throw the Hives in real quick. And then we're back into Whitesnake.
I'm pretty sure at some time in your life you've like slapped a bass to the Hives. Have you?
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely.
I just busted out a "I love you, man" quote.
Hey, sometimes you got to do it. You know what I mean? You don't want to do it, but it's right there. You do it, and then you throw on maybe half a Rush album, and then you're set for at least a week, 2 weeks.
You're definitely the Paul Rudd of the Movies, Films, and Flicks contributors.
I greatly appreciate that because he has aged very well.
He's a Highlander.
Very well. There's no way he's not, right? But here's the thing. You've also got Rob Lowe. If they're in a room together, there can only be one. What's going to happen?
Wow. That's why they can never be in a room with swords or pens.
Nope. That's why if you look at the West Wing, Paul Rudd is never on the West Wing.
Wow. I guess you could allow him at an award show. You just got to pat him down first to make sure there's no swords.
Absolutely. Or seat one in the very front, the other one in the very back, or just have it so they don't lock eyes. Because if they're able to catch a glance and lock eyes, it's game over. Golden Globes, you couldn't have them there together. There's tables. Everyone's kind of schmoozing. They're going to lock eyes at some point. But Academy Awards, a big ceremony like that, everyone's kind of seated. They're doing their own thing. I think they'll be safe.
Yeah. They would have a fight similar to They Live. Or the chicken versus Peter from the Family Guy type fight. Just forever.
Absolutely. Blood everywhere. Just copious amounts of blood.
All right, so I just want to say thank you for joining me to talk about this jet ski chase in Police Academy 3 Back in Training, the final fight. You have joined me for episodes. You did a jet ski draft with me. And we also did a bathroom fights episode. And now we're just going to be talking about the wonderful jet ski chase that takes place between Lassard's crew and the dastardly criminals who are robbing a yacht party. And what ensues is 2 boats. They have the governor in their boat, and it is the police squad chasing them down. They're hunting them down. You got Goot in there. You got Sweet Chuck. You got Zed chasing them all down out there. You got Jones. They're all chasing them. And we got to say, once again, the stunt coordinator was Alan Oilney, who was Eddie Murphy's guy, who was Wesley Snipes' guy. So he's out there. He's throwing boats and jet skis around, and we get a gnarly chase. This is a fun final fight that's one of a kind.
It absolutely is. And, I mean, it might be too bold to say this so soon. You'll never see something like this again. The choreography alone, that guy had to have practiced and gotten ready for at least a month and a half before even shooting this. And to have everybody kind of on the same page, following the beats, not just going through the motions, right? Because if you learn and memorize something so much, you can get stale after a while, right? To bring such an energy to this, it takes a lot. It takes so much skill and timing and to get it right and to hopefully, because I don't know the behind the scenes, hopefully nobody got hurt doing this, is very, very impressive.
You know what's interesting that you said? When I think about Cirque du Soleil, you have to practice to perfection, almost over practice. But when coordinating a jet ski scene, if it looks like sort of boring, been there, done that jet skiing, no one's going to like it.
No, absolutely. You want something that's a touch sloppy, but it's a planned sloppy, right? It's an exciting, oh no, there's danger. Oh no, what's going to happen? When you go to Cirque du Soleil, you are there for the perfection. It's not like you don't want to see anybody get hurt. You want to see somebody hang from silks while balancing two people on their hands and, someone else on their foot. That's what you want to see. You're there for the precision. You're there for the art. You're not looking for accidents or craziness. Jet skis, you're looking for craziness. I want to see speed. I want to see jumps. I want to see a lot of wake. I want to see it all.
Who's returning these Kawasaki jet skis back to the rental place?
I've never thought about that. They get them back and they just look at the odometer. And they just lose their mind. So they pull like a Ferris Bueller and they try to run it backwards.
And then Gutenberg just kicks them all out of a building.
Yeah.
Gutenberg thrashes his jet ski. So they're going to the robbery. They rent a bunch of jet skis, but then Gutenberg doesn't even brake. He just slams it into a wall. I mean, there's wanton jet ski damage from a poor rental property. I mean, I hope these things are insured because
there's no way you don't get the insurance.
Yeah. So they're insured, you think?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Okay.
If all the damage they're doing, and they had to have known ahead of time, like, oh, this is going to be a chase. We should probably get the insurance on this. So this way, when something happens, it's like, hey, that's a you problem. And they can turn around, walk away, not have to worry about it. They can sleep at night knowing, hey, I did the right thing. I got the insurance.
A dumpster comes, just dumps all of the broken jet skis into their lot, and then just drives away. Is that what you're kind of saying? So this Wave Runner place, they'll get the money for them, but it's going to be a process.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And then they'll have that one new guy that started, and he just like quietly sneaks away those broken pieces, and all of a sudden he's got a Frankenski that he breaks out, becomes the new big thing, and now the company's making even more money, so they kind of hope that other jet skis get broken.
I was hoping that you would say he becomes Iron Man.
Oh, that also would be a good one. You do like a reverse thruster and just blow everybody away with water.
The prisoner comes busting out of the jet ski rental place in a full Iron Man gear.
His feet are turbines, and he just stands on the water blasting away, throwing handles at people. What is this, a rubber grip? Ow!
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Sweet Chuck's shortcut in this scene?
You know what? I'm going to give it a 9.
Whoa.
Because he's on there, he's up and over the hill, doesn't skip a beat, doesn't lose any speed. I just wish the form was a little bit better. I think as he's going over the land, he could have taken a quick step to hop up on the ski and come out on the other side better. Instead, he's still getting dragged along. It's funny. I wish he would have taken that next step, because already, you know what I mean? He's popping from behind a tree, asking a guy to make his day.
Oh, yeah. What? There's some interesting fist fighting in this scene. I mean, you have so it's their crew. Everyone in this world has seen Police Academy 3 back in training, so we don't even need to bust out the plot. We just need to let people know that there's a chase scene at the end with jet skis. There's some fisticuffs. Zed one-punch KOs a bunch of people. People are jumping from trees. People are jumping 12 feet in the air. People are flying all over the place. And then Sweet Chuck, if Sweet Chuck didn't fall into the water, do you think Sweet Chuck could have ridden because on the way over, Sweet Chuck was in the boat next to Hightower, and Sweet Chuck had his gun out ready to shoot. I don't know if you saw that. So
I didn't see that part, no.
When Sweet Chuck has to get on this jet ski, Sweet Chuck is not prepared. So Sweet Chuck falls in the water and just gets dragged for probably 7 minutes through a circular canal system, which I believe they raced in a circle, correct, in this scene?
There's no way they didn't. They had to have, because you got the one guy, his name escaped me right now. He's watching with binoculars. He's kind of seeing the whole thing going on. And I feel like they start at the dock and then they end up back at the dock. And we don't really see the same kind of setting back and forth. It's not like they're doing like a Scooby-Doo thing, right, where they're kind of popping back and forth and crossing each other in different sections. It's just it's got to be one big loop.
Wow. These criminals weren't very smart, because they could have taken off into the open sea.
Oh, yeah. And they would have got far. because jet skis, they're only going to go so much. You only have so much gas in the tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
The boat, you got a little bit more. Yeah, and even then, you might have an oar. You can row after a while. If that gas is out, you're rowing. Jet ski, you don't have an oar on that.
That's really interesting. You can row a boat, but you can't row a jet ski.
No, you'd have to do a sweet chuck and kind of pop off, hold the back of it, and kick your feet along like a dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's my new quote. If one of my students ever asks me for advice, I'll be like, you can row a boat, but you can't row a jet ski. And I just want them to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Could be about anything. I want them to consider it.
Yeah. Say it like as class is wrapping up, like, hey gang, before you go out, you can row a boat, but you can't row a jet ski. No eye contact, exit stage left, and just not even say class dismissed. Just wait for the bell or whatever notification it is to let them know class is over. Don't go into, assumedly, your special office where people can go in and request office hours, and you have, all kind of archaeological dig trophies, if you
and
will.
Blogs in a museum.
Exactly.
I would throw a smoke bomb down.
I think you would have to. I think with a quote so prolific, how I didn't think of it sooner. I think because I was just so enraptured in the moment of that phrase. But you would have to do a smoke bomb. Now here's the question: what color smoke? Do you go traditional or do you liven it up?
Oh well, you don't want to go anything too lively because it would take away from the quote, right? But you would want to have some color in there to not bore them after the great quote. So I'm thinking a nice navy blue.
I'm for it. I can get behind that. Absolutely, I can.
Who's that?
Because in a way, it's water-esque. Right?
Whoa, yeah. They'll never see me again either. After you drop something like that, it's quitting time.
Absolutely. Either a robot comes back to teach them, or a surrogate teacher comes in.
A guy with a jet ski suit of armor comes in to teach them.
Yes. And anytime they go to hand in paperwork, his jet hands just blow the papers away, and he's like, now you got to go get it.
Here I go again. Oh, gosh. You're on the road, you're hitting on the highway, and you see a jet ski man flying by you. That changes your entire worldview. Now, who's the MVP of this scene? There's a lot of people running around here, right? There's Jones, who can use his hand as a periscope. His hand works as a functioning periscope. You have, Mahoney falls a lot, and he's all over the place. I've narrowed it down to two people, but I kind of want to, I've narrowed it down to two people. I want to know who you think, though, is the MVP of this chase. For
me?
Yeah.
The MVP has got to be Zed.
Oh, you took one of my two. I'll let you. That's perfect. I'm glad I picked two. He
literally screams at a guy and scares him off of the jet ski. No one else is doing that. Everyone's trying to do, whips and trying to outmaneuver, maybe do a pit maneuver. They're trying to do like kicks or launching from jet skis onto boats, and they're doing all of these things. But he literally rides up next to someone in a police uniform, no vest, no wetsuit, screams at a guy.
Oh, and he shakes a guy so bad. He yells. Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful maneuver. And also, that criminal's going to swim to freedom.
Not only that, but he has to explain what happened.
To the rest of his criminal friends?
Yeah, and they're going to disown him, and now he's a lone criminal. And he's probably going to take the path of righteousness and go, you know what? I've been wrong all of my life. I need to be doing the screaming. I shouldn't be getting screamed at.
Wow. So what does this person become then?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. He becomes a pretzel food truck operator.
Wow. Or a SoulCycle instructor.
Maybe he does both. Maybe one's a weekday or an afternoon gig. Maybe one's a night and weekends gig. You know what I mean? How like some people do bar trivia, right? They do it like 3 nights a week, but during the day they still go to Enterprise and, they help with people, live their dreams through car rentals.
This person's making pretzels. Are they also yelling at people?
I think it's yelling during SoulCycle.
Got it.
So you're yelling during the cycling, but then you have this Bob Ross Zen during the pretzels. So if you're making a pretzel that doesn't twist just right, hey, it's a happy accident. That pretzel's going to taste just as good, if not better, because of that little twist mistake, a twist steak, if you will.
So this person becomes the Orson Welles of pretzel makers.
Yes.
Wow.
Wholeheartedly believe that, yes.
Wow, Zed yelling turned his life around.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anything, it twisted his life up in a good way.
Wow, that's really wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can smell the pretzels from here.
Yeah. Not too much salt, but enough salt. Not too little, you know? Some mustard.
It's a baby bear's porridge worth of salt. I mean, it is just right. It is perfection.
I gotta give. Okay, I don't want Mahoney to be the head of get anywhere near the MVPs because Mahoney goes up to a boat and goes pull over, and the boat whaps him off, and he falls. And it's just Mahoney'd it for sure. That's why I'm gonna say the other MVP is Cadet Adams because she stays on her jet ski. Now she doesn't jump on a boat. She doesn't say we need to talk. There's no fisticuffs. There's no tussling. She doesn't have a good shoulder tussle with a criminal. But she's the only person who really doesn't fall off of her jet ski. She just keeps a constant pressure on the two of them. She's the workhorse of the team. She's following them. She's not going anywhere while everyone else is flopping around. She does sweet jumps. So I think she is, aside from Zed, the co-MVP of this chase.
Oh, I would think so. And I mean, you said it yourself. She's right there. She's the workhorse. Hey, defense wins championships, right? They're not always going to make these big plays, but they're going to make the stops when they have to. They're going to prevent the scores. And what does she do? She makes the stops when she has to. She prevents the scores. She doesn't fall in the water. That's sturdy. You know what I mean? You're getting a high rating 9 times out of 10. She's leading. If this was a league, she's leading the league and not falling in the water.
Wow, that's a big one.
No one else can do that. Everyone else is batting 1,000 on 0.
Yep, that's wow. And that's why she won the MVP 2 years in a row.
Exactly. Exactly. And this time, clearly she's got to share it because they couldn't just stay on the ski. They had to go above and beyond. They're like, I need to do something new because this person right here is literally the only face on the Mount Rushmore of not falling off a jet ski in a chase in Police Academy 3. I need to do something above and beyond. I'm going to scream at this dude. And here we are.
Bobcat Goldthwait looked very comfortable on that 1980s early era Kawasaki Wave Runner jet ski. That was Bobcat on that jet ski. And Bobcat's yelling, and that guy's falling. And who's bringing that jet ski back?
It's got to be Bobcat.
Bobcat?
I think he's gonna take him. I think something's gonna happen where he goes back and he gets it. Be it under the dark of night, he sneaks it, or whoever goes to take it from him, he yells, he screams at him.
Does he put one foot on each, and then one arm on each, and then ride him back duo?
I think he might actually. This might be crazy. I think he's gonna lay down across the two.
Interesting.
And use a hand and a foot to guide his way home.
That's more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to Jean-Claude Van Damme 2 tractor trailers those jet skis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Zed style.
That's Zed, baby.
But
Zed's not dead, baby.
Zed's not dead. Zed's on a jet ski, baby. Just watching this, though, and the reason I want to talk about this again is that there are jet ski scenes, right? And we talked about it ad nauseum on our jet ski draft episode. But this is an entire finale of a film involving jet skis. So Transporter, there's an action scene, Hard Rain, but this all comes down to jet skis, and that's so rare, and it's kind of wonderful. But it seems tough, right? You're just going around in canals. There's a lot of water gags. You got stunt people flying all over the place. These things are quite unwieldy at the time. But it was ambitious. For a third film in a franchise, it was an ambitious chase. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this.
Oh, absolutely. Because you got to think third film, they're like, we got to go bigger, better, bigger set pieces, bigger explosions. But no, they just get creative with it. And what's interesting, too, is they keep it engaging. You could watch jet skis and just kind of get bored after a while. I don't know if you owned a Nintendo 64. I loved Wave Race, but you can only play it for, say, 20 minutes, and then it gets old. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You're not chasing anybody. There's no excitement. There's no shouting. There's no potential gunplay. None of that stuff. But here we have it. We have shortcuts. We have screams. We have, people leaping from skis onto boats. We have all of these different aspects, and it keeps it engaging. I'm not going to lie. When I was really big into NASCAR when I was younger, I would get bored, but I don't want to tell that to anybody. I wanted to seem cool and I'm into this and I know what's going on, but it can be boring. But there's excitement here, and it's what brings you back. And I think that's what also makes the film stand out amongst the others. Nobody does that. No one's going to base their whole finale around a jet ski. No, that doesn't happen.
It's beautiful, and it stood the test of time.
It absolutely has.
Now, we've talked about, let's each give our favorite moment that we haven't talked about yet before we get out of here in this final fight.
Ooh.
Let's each give our own. And since I just came up with it, I'll do the nice thing and let you go first.
Well, I hope I don't take yours. One thing I like is actually, and I feel guilty saying this, it's actually not one of the jet ski moments.
Whoa.
Because mine's already been spoken about with Zed screaming at a guy. I like the fight that Jones has with two of they were waiters, but they're actually bad guys. He is fighting, leaps into the air, right?
12 feet.
Has really, really great hang time. I mean, just great hang time. But when he comes down, one would think there's going to be a big explosive double kick, and he's knocking both of these guys down, but it's not. He's throwing them off. He's jumping down, kicking one guy in the shin, kicking another guy down the steps. Again, they're subverting your expectations. You're like, okay, this is going to happen. Oh, no, we're going to do something completely different. And then he goes off and, continues, joins the chase because he's already in a wetsuit. Yeah, I mean, he's halfway there, living on a prayer. He's going to make it happen.
That's a great, and I love the confusion on the henchman's face. Like, this guy just jumped 12 feet in the air. They're totally confused by it, and then they just get laid to waste, get knocked out. And then his hand is a periscope.
Oh, yeah. And you got to think, that's why he's sticking to kicks. He don't want to hurt them periscope hands. He doesn't want to crack the glass. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And not only that, these guys have guns. When he's up in the air with that hang time, they could shoot him. And that's the end of it. But they are so gobsmacked. They're in such awe that they let it happen. I'd be the same way if I'm like, man, he is up there. I wouldn't have the wherewithal to go, oh, he's defenseless. Let me take him out. I would just be awestruck.
Guy's a mutant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I gotta do it. I gotta pick one now. Oh man, this is tough. This is gonna sound weird, but I just like that for once. Cadet Adams, she stays on, Mahoney flies off, and then she goes, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, just keep going." Like, his ego isn't hurt at all. He just comes right back into the fight, and that says a lot about the characters. Like, normally it would be the guy watching over the lady, but even in the 80s, right, they're always just getting kidnapped, or the daughter, like, fodder. So I like that she stayed on, he fell off, she asked if he was okay. He's totally comfortable in himself to get back on to his jet ski and keep riding. It's nice. Yeah. It's a nice moment. It's refreshing.
It is, and especially for something in the 80s, because you expect this machismo, you expect this, bravado to come through, and he just keeps it in a team effort. He's like, hey, thanks, I'm good, you keep going, I'll catch up. You're the workhorse, keep working, horse, and I'm gonna be right there behind you, And he joins in, and sure, he ends up, being the guy to kind of handle the situation, take care of everything, but I think he does it because he wants to prove himself that, hey, you know what? Even though I got back up again, and you're never going to keep me down. I'm going to get up there and make the stop. And I wouldn't have had the energy or the motivation to do so if you hadn't asked me how I was.
Wow. I want to put the Wallflowers cover of the song Hero playing over that moment. What do you think?
I like it. I like it because I think financially the rights would be easier to attain.
Yep.
It's also just a good version. Like, I like Jakob Dylan. I think he gets a bad rap from a lot of people.
Really?
But I appreciate him. I think he does. I mean, he's Bob Dylan's son, right? He has very similar mannerisms, and he has to kind of separate himself from his father, and they have similar writing techniques and the way they describe things, sure, but he's his own person. You know what I mean? If you look at the kids of the Beatles, that's not the case at all. I'm not saying they're not talented, but Ringo's son is doing the best out of everybody right now, I think, and dude's out there crushing it. And everybody else is just kind of, Sean Lennon's getting out there too, and he's getting better with, the Claypool and then Delirium and everything. But when you get to, Danny Harrison, what's he really doing? Can you even name Paul McCartney's son? I can't name Paul McCartney's son.
Yeah.
And here's Jakob Dylan hanging out with the Wallflowers, talking about headlights.
Dude, that song, that's one of my favorite driving songs ever. I could play that right now, cruising, and just blare it. I love that song. That, Run by Snow Patrol, that's a good song. There's a Less Than Jake song that I really love, The Science of Selling Yourself Short. I think that's a really good one. 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins, Interstate Love Song.
That's a good one, dude.
That's a really good one. That's a driving mix right there. Get in your car and listen to those.
Yeah, that's a Spotify playlist that's going to get added to a lot of people's libraries.
And sailing.
I mean, in a way, you're just road sailing. You know what I mean?
Huh?
You put that song on when you're on the middle of Kansas, passing through Salina, and you've got just wind turbines all around. It feels like you're just out on the ocean because you just close your eyes, not for too long because you got to keep your eyes on the road, 10 and 2. But you know what I mean? You're there. You're just in paradise, a very flat, sandy paradise.
Beautiful.
As you go through Kansas.
And the last song, Float On by Modest Mouse.
Oh, yeah. And then it's because you're floating onto your destination.
Yep.
Or the gas station. Whatever it is, you're floating onto it.
Hey, thank you for joining me, man. This was wonderful. This was a great palate cleanser. This is fun.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm an email away. I'm a shout from a jet ski away.
I'm going to put a jet ski light on my house and just shine it, and you'll know.
Perfect.
All right. It would have to be probably 700 yards long for you to see it in Baltimore, but I'm going to build one.
And that dedication is why I keep coming back.
I'm going to wipe out the grid when I turn that thing on. I hope he's looking, because this isn't lasting long. Oh, man.
I like that.
Thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Nick, you can row a boat, but you can't row a jet ski. Riak, this is Final Fights. We'll see you next week.